Rock and roll, he says. Okay, so let's get to my listeners. Let's pay attention to you, the listeners out there. Medicare and You. It's not a trademark name. If there's any attorneys out there, I would love for you to help me on this because I have gotten a call from compliance. I by no means meant to infringe on anybody's idea. I have some people looking into it, but I just thought the name was important. It's about you, and the topic is Medicare. So I hope I didn't offend anybody or get in any legal trouble there. But if there's any attorneys listening, if you could just tell me if that's like a trademark name, I might have to change it. I hope I don't, though, because the listeners like it. All right. We do have a caller on line 1. Michael Regan, how can I help you?
Hi. Could you please explain what a Miller Trust is?
A Miller Trust?
Right.
Like M-I-L-L-E-R Trust?
Yep. There was a piece on it in the paper over the weekend.
Okay.
And basically what it was it concerned Medicaid.
Okay.
And if a person was slightly over the income limitation to be eligible for Medicaid, they could divert the excess into a Miller Trust, and then they would be eligible.
Okay, well, you could not have planned this. I did not call you today and tell you to call on the radio show, correct?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, sir. A Miller Trust, also known as a qualified income trust. A Miller Trust can help people applying for Medicaid nursing home benefits whose income exceeds the monthly cap. With a Miller Trust, you can legally reduce the amount of your income that's counted for eligibility purposes by directing your monthly pensions or Social Security payments into the Miller Trust. Am I going too fast?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Note that you can include only income and not other assets such as property or individual retirement accounts, or IRAs, they call them. So again, a Miller Trust, also known as a qualified income trust. A Miller Trust can help people applying for Medicaid nursing home benefits whose income exceeds the monthly cap. With a Miller Trust, you can legally reduce the amount of your income that's counted for eligibility purposes by directing your monthly pensions or Social Security payments into the trust. Note that you can include only income, not other assets such as property or IRAs. Properly transferring income into this type of trust can bring an individual within the income requirements for eligibility purposes.
Well, Mike, would it work for any other Medicare services?
It's
for example,
incredible that you're calling in because that is one of my topics today. So what I feel and what we've been advised is you have to go through an elder care attorney to do this. Do you have any assets saved?
Let me just ask you.
Okay. And if I can't answer the question, I will have to say, you know what, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The specific point of my question. I have a neighbor that is in the MSP program.
Medicare Savings Program.
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
But her income is slightly over. She does not qualify for QMB, for the gray card.
You know what you're talking about.
And
no names, by the way, no names for HIPAA reasons on the show. Okay.
Yep. And she's a perfect candidate. She has a cajillion medical co-pays like every week.
Sure.
And we were wondering if it would be something for her, or if it was just for like convalescent hormones.
No. If you don't mind, I can have you call my agency. I can't ask your name on the air, and I would never violate the trust of my listeners. Can you call my agency? I can give you a name of at least 2 or 3 well-known attorneys that are very reputable that can take care of this for a nominal fee.
She already said she called you.
Okay.
So, Okay. You mean it would work in her case?
I can have the attorneys consult with her, and even on the phone, they can just give some advice. And if the client decides to go with it, it's not that expensive.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for listening. It's 203-757-6099. Give my agency a call. Tell them that you were the caller, and I will do my darndest to get back to them in the next couple days. Okay. We are going to talk about, hopefully that's my college admission consultant on the line, Shannon and Kailtyn Dufy. Is this college admissions consultants?
Yes, it is.
All right, ladies. Okay, so first let me plug you because we've been just inundated with phone calls. I haven't even had a shot to plug you. 4.0 GPA out of Quinnipiac University. I mean, smarty pants. I love it. Not only professional, very, very intelligent, but charismatic and a personality, which is good when we're dealing with this. So let me explain why they're on the air, and then I'm going to turn it over to them, as producer Nick always says. Well, you just usually turn it over to the guest. Okay, out there listening, my listeners, it's college time. Graduation is coming in June, delayed this year until probably latest in June, almost the end of June because of the snowstorms. But it's time to start thinking about those SATs. So, lo and behold, a client of mine, Dr. So-and-so, he is a client of mine for insurance. I'm discussing the situation with his beautiful wife, and she tells me about her intelligent daughters, and I meet them, and I'm like, whoa, this is a great topic. So for you out there, grandparents or parents that have children who need prep with the SATs or help with college admission, let you talk to the gurus, Shannon and Kailtyn Dufy. Go ahead, ladies. Introduce college admission consultants. Walk my listeners what you do, and I'll interject with some bullet points about how smart you are.
Okay. So our business is a very small business, and we work with high school students and also adults who want to go back to school. And we basically take them step by step through the whole college admissions process. We can help them with one step of the process or help them through literally every step of the process.
Right.
And some of those steps would include things like helping match a student to a college. So based on their preferences and their academic strengths, we can find them schools that might be a better fit than something else they might think of. We also help them fill out the application. And we also have 3 services regarding the essay for the application, because that's a really, really important part of the application.
Okay.
So we'll help them come up with a topic, a strong topic for the essay. We'll also help them create a really strong outline for that essay, and then we'll help them edit the essay as well. And we do interview preparation also. And one of our really, really strong points would be SAT tutoring and also academic tutoring, because those SAT scores need to be up there and the grades need to be very high as well.
Right. So, listeners out there, you're always saying, what can I do to help my children? Saving for college is one thing. Getting them in is another. So these women are Joan Phillips Gordon Award winners, which is Quinnipiac University is no joke school. I mean, they had the Quinnipiac poll. They've grown from a small school in Hamden to one of the largest facilities. And I'm so sorry, by the way, girls, about the alma mater getting beat in that hockey tournament a couple weeks ago. But anyway, the Quinnipiac University is in Hamden, Connecticut. It is well known for education. And when you're leaving with a 4.0, you did your studies. I mean, you did your homework. So nice and slowly. You're going a little too fast, girls, because you're hyper like me. This is a good time oldies show, and my seniors need to write this down. You take the student, you coach them, you also educate them and tutor them for a fee, correct?
Correct.
All right. So we're not going to discuss the fees online or on the air because I am hoping that they're going to call you. College admission consultants. They're not only just the counseling department. What do you call the department at a high school? Like a guidance counselor?
Yeah.
Right. You're taking that to now a professional level where you say, look, we've got a proven track record. You've been doing it for 2.5 years. I looked on your website. On the right, there is a slew of colleges you've placed your students in. Let's talk about some of that.
Yes, well, we believe in the concept that every student has a right college, and that every college is not right for each student.
Right.
So what we do is we take each student through a survey, and using that survey, we can help them find a school that matches them best. So we've helped students get into all different types of colleges, private and public colleges, big colleges, very, very small colleges, colleges with specific majors. And our range of colleges that our clients have been accepted to is really very wide.
Yeah, I saw that it was on the right on your website. It was over on the right, the list.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents sometimes will ask us, well, what's the best school? Or, where would be the best place? And a lot of times parents refer to the list that they find in magazines of the top 10 schools. And we really don't believe in that, because we really strongly believe that there's a best school for each and every student. And those lists are based on things that might not be important to an individual student. So
Right.
while a school might have a particular name or a reputation, it's really important to find a school where each individual student is going to be happy and successful.
I agree 100%. My wife and I were just down in D.C., and I looked at the unbelievable amount of students at Georgetown, and I was saying, I would have never thrived here. I went to a small college in Delaware called Wesley College, and it was class size that was important for me. Because of my energy, I need to have a little more hands-on, one-on-one for me to learn. I am not a student that can sit in a classroom with 200 people and get everything. I need to have a 30, 40, 50-person class. So that I remember talking in rehearsal yesterday, that's some of the things you do as well. You have knowledge of the colleges and universities that you're placing your students at.
Exactly, and that is one of the things that we focus on when we're initially surveying the student and trying to match them. As to what type of learner they are,
Right.
and whether they be placed in a large class, a small class, a research university, or a more teacher-based university. So those are the things that we look at that a lot of times people, parents, grandparents, don't know that they should be, looking at when they're trying to help their student look for different colleges.
It's a perfect opportunity for you grandparents and parents out there. I would love to take some calls. Girls, if you could stay on the line for a few minutes. I'm going to open the phone lines up because I know people are out there saying, there is something I can do. If I can afford to get 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10 tutoring sessions, maybe my grandchild or maybe my child will get 50 or 100 better points. Is the SAT still based on 1,600?
No, it's now based on 2,400. They changed.
Wow. Okay, well, it shows my age. I'm 43. I wouldn't have a clue. But anyway, the phone lines are 203-757-1320. We have Shannon and Kailtyn Dufy of College Admission Consultants. I think it's an important topic today because graduation is coming, and this is the final push. When are the SATs, ladies?
The SATs are offered at least 6 or 7 times a year. So there's one in May and one in June, and then in October.
Perfect opportunity for you to get in there and mold a mind in the next month or two.
Exactly.
Also, what was important is your knowledge came from being an insider. Why don't you tell people where you worked at Quinnipiac?
Sure. When we were students at Quinnipiac, we worked in the undergraduate admissions office. So we were really able to see the process from the inside out.
Right. Inside knowledge, it says on your website.
Yes, exactly. We have all these tips and advice that we know that maybe you wouldn't know if you were an outsider or you didn't work in an undergraduate admissions office.
Right. All right, 203-757-1320. We're going to lose them in a few minutes if nobody calls in. All right, lastly, tell me about what you're doing, what a particular regular session would be. Do you go to an area, a library, to the home? Do they come to you? How do people reach you?
Typically, we go to the student's home.
Okay.
We know that students have a lot going on. They've got school, then they have extracurricular activities and sports. And we're here to decrease their stress, not increase it. So we try to let the students stay at home in an environment where they're comfortable at, and it makes it easier on the parent so the parent doesn't have to do any driving. If the student doesn't feel comfortable with us meeting in their home, then we go to a public library. And if the student is from out of state, then we do our sessions via Skype, which is an audio-visual program on the computer where we can see the student and they can see us and we can work with them that way.
Okay, so you will be getting some hits because we have a YouTube page. My producer Nick, does a YouTube page, and we'll make sure producer Nick has a video for you to put on your website that people can watch you calling in on the show. And we'll also put your website, which is caccheshire.com, www.collegeadmissionconsulting, CAC, Cheshire, the town I grew up in, .com. So we will make sure the YouTube page gets up and running within a week for you girls. And why don't you have my listeners, since nobody's calling in, they're all shy. Sorry about this, ladies. How do they reach you? And if they have college admission questions or SAT tutoring for their children or grandchildren, how do they reach the two 4.0 geniuses?
They can call us. Our number is 203-641-0656.
Well done. Nice and slow. Beautiful. One more time, and the name of the firm.
Sure. It's College Admissions Consultants. It's 203-641-0656.
Okay, and if you missed the phone number, just call into the studio and we'll have it. Fantastic. Kailtyn, Shannon, thank you so much for your friendship and a great, great interview. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right. So I thought it was pertinent. Obviously, the listeners didn't. Thumbs down. They hated it. But I liked it. I like the women. I think they're intelligent. 4.0 from Quinnipiac. Hello. Smarty. All right. They're 20, mid-20s. They're not little girls. They're like professional women, well-dressed. They know what they're doing. And this is their career. So I don't even know if I can say age anymore on the air for HIPAA. They're really tying our hands, producers. Okay, let's get back to important stuff like Medicare. The gentleman called in with the Miller Trust. I did know about it. I was a little nervous because I thought it was maybe a surprise caller. But the Agency on Aging, 203-757-5449. Daryl Willenbrock and her fantastic crew, Heather, Carla, Dick, they can walk you through it. I also have a plethora of attorneys in my quiver at the office that I can discuss off air. I don't want to say any names in case it's a sponsor conflict. Also, another thing I feel is important. If you do not know this, I have been upgraded my education. It used to be $14,600. Now the new Social Security guidelines for you with a 1948 after your date of birth. Something 1948. Full retirement age is now 66. It just crept up to 66. So a lovely young lady was in my office today, and she knows me through society. She asked me a question. I said, let me actually get the exact answer. We have to take a commercial break, or are we okay?
We could do one now if you want.
All right, let me get back to the meat of the matter right after the commercial break because it's juicy and you're going to like it. It's 15-1020, and I'll go over everything, how that works. Talk to you in a few minutes. Michael Regan.